think that was him talking all the smack on Twitter. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I want to consider that maybe, just maybe, no, he's got somebody playing surrogate, somebody playing devil's advocate in this situation.
That's interesting.
If not, though, but again, like I said, ZONE, he is tapped as one of the favorites to take this whole tournament. This guy, he literally has a doctorate in this game. He got it from SNK themselves.
Yeah, and you know, this guy has pretty much been America's thorn for quite some time.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I would say one of America's biggest hopes, Reynolds, recently kind of got blown up by him, unfortunately. But it made a good story because Reynolds, we saw him last pool, looks clean.
Yep.
That electric to level 3 was immediate, snappy.
Like I said, that was pure muscle memory right there. Didn't have to gauge it, didn't have to guess nothing. Knew exactly what he wanted. The second he got that confirmed, he knew what the deal was.
So I know this man's ready for this week.
All right, so got the button check out of the way, going into the character select. Now, out of curiosity, Samuel, like I said, with all the balance matches that have been coming out, the addition of the DLC characters, are there any particular fighters that you care to see more of?
Fighters? Yeah. Well, I would like to say Vanessa because Vanessa is one of my favorite characters.
Oh, yeah. So
but unfortunately, But I do like that with the balance patches, I feel like most of the cast sits in the A tier. A very, very viable sort of character.
Definitely. I can agree with that.
So that being said, one of the characters I want to see is my favorite Moi Moi. She's my favorite character in the game, but a lot of the characters are extremely strong. Like Maiten-kun, I rate very highly.
Good point.
Also, Kula, I think, is one of the best characters in the game.
Yeah. Hands down.
You know ZONE is going to go for that top tier.
Oh, yeah. But here's the thing. With Mian on screen, now it becomes a matter of being patient, but also picking your spots.
Oh, yeah.
Because, again, with all the mobility options that she has and the ability to really snipe people out with that dive kick and all the meter she gains from it, Mian's a real serious problem, especially on point. And with ZONE definitely doing some work now, getting that life taken down just a bit.
I like this runaway style, a little bit less aggressive than when we see Reynolds play Mian, but it still is going to work out really well, especially against ZONE, whose anti-airs are so on point. You do definitely got to give him a second thing to think about.
Oh, yeah.
There it is. Definitely getting these open.
Nice use of the jumping on there with the blowback. And again, another great thing about Mian is that despite how people generally play her, Mian has some fairly decent buttons on her.
Oh, yeah. Her ground buttons are phenomenal, but this is huge damage. Spend that 2 barters immediately.
All right, again, the old school KOF 2000 jumping C from Kula. Possibly one of the most dangerous hitboxes in the game.
I can't.
Wow.
It's been
all right.
Yeah,
again,
I guess so.
Here's somebody we usually don't get to see. Somebody with a home court advantage, no less.
Yeah. So not usually a highly represented character, but definitely can do the damage, has the 4 bars, and you know this is one touch. ZONE is going to play it calm.
Yeah, and he's really just going to have to put the pressure on. You don't want to give Kimso any opportunity to get his offense going, because one of the big things about the transition from 13 to 14, Kenso lost a little bit of speed and mobility, but what he lost in speed, he gained form and power. He hits like a truck now.
Oh, yeah. Mind you, he hit it like a truck in 13.
Also true, yeah.
So just a little bit more.
Good use of the frost return there.
Yeah, this is one of the problems with this matchup is that Kenso really has to use that slow fireball. It's one of his best tools in order to approach, but obviously Kula can just swap that back. But Kula's going to be taken out, going to go to the next Benny.
This is one of the, like I said, I like to call him a Tokyo assassin, this guy right here, man. Because again, all you need with Benamara is just 1 bar, and that's half of somebody's life.
Yep.
Just that one good open. So let's see if Hasumi can maybe throw ZONE a little off his game. Because saying to throw ZONE off the game is not possible. But to just put a little bit of a stagger into it.
All right,
just go for the stumble.
All right, probably wanted the 3rd, but it's too high.
All right, decent trade. Goes to the X fireball. You know, he's going to be on the back foot a lot because you don't want to give Benamara the opportunity. Yeah. But at the same time works against you in that gameplay.
That should be it. He's got the knee loops. Oh, he's just going to go for 2, but that's going to do the trick anyway.
And again, simple 1 bar combo, so dangerous, so effective. And now again, one of the guys you were talking about, Maiten-kun. Maiten-kun is somebody who, I'm not going to lie, I appreciate him as a new addition to the roster.
Yeah.
Hate fighting him.
Oh, yeah.
Because again,
There it is.
Because of stuff like that.
Yep.
Again, that slow fireball, the dash punch, the wake-up pillar, all these different things, just they make him such a dangerous character.
Yeah.
And because of his design, he is so unassuming. All right, trying to go for a couple of these EXO fading light kicks.
That's fantastic fireballs, great ground normals, probably some of the best CDs in the game.
Oh, trying to go for that on-the-ground cross-up.
Yeah. And Hasumi just completely content on playing this back and forth, lame out, and then all of a sudden I'm coming in.
All right, goes in. Nice chip on that one.
I really like the raw max mode style of it too. He's definitely just using this character's fantastic EX moves.
Seriously, man. And the thing that, it's irritating, but it's so beautiful to watch. This, like, again, the lack of speed behind that fireball, it allows him to approach. You see it earlier. Again, he throws out the fireball. And mind you, it's just a regular fireball. Still in max mode, goes to the crossover with the roll, tries to get an on-the-ground cross-up. Man, that is insane.
And we saw some fantastic neutral from Hasumi just a second ago, but he's going to get gripped. And you know Iori, he's going to do some big damage.
All right.
Oh, boy.
Oh. That's now Hasumi. Uphill battle. But with the way making 10 hits, could pull some miracles off right now.
Yeah, not only is this character a fantastic defensive character, he also hits super hard.
All right. Sends the fireball. Tosses the pillow.
Oh!
That's what I'm talking about. I knew it was going to happen.
Oh, boy. I didn't know if that was going to go through or not.
Oh, God. And just slowly throws him off the game. And you see the approach there. How do you go up against that?
Yeah, he's keeping himself safe with the pillow in front of him. That's such a smart idea. But that trade, even though he's going to get hit out of it, is going to do it. That's going to go first up for
It's going to be enough, basically. All right, so again, Xiao is going to be up 1 over Hasumi. But again, we saw a little bit of innovation there. We see, I don't want to necessarily say like there's a dent in the armor, but again, maybe a little something to work to. Maybe a tiny little crack that started to show. Because again, if you can simply pressure XIAOHAI with the type of projectile zoning and the level of approach that Maidson can have, maybe you can get something.
Yeah, we saw pretty much his Benny completely ineffective. Something you can't say about XIAOHAI enough.
I mean, that's something, I'm not even sure that's something you can say about Benimaru as a character. I don't think I've ever heard those two words in the same sentence.
Yeah, right? And then it didn't feel like he had an answer for him as in Yuri, but he had the life lead and was able to trade enough times in order to take it.
Now we're seeing it here again. Hasumi building up all that meter. Be patient. Gotta be careful right now. And again, that missile dropkick, man, it's gonna nail them.
Interesting idea. You go for the slide there. Just get
he was
out
probably
of
hoping that, again, it would auto-correct and she would end up on that side. But again, she can control where she falls. Again, even right now, with like just the quote-unquote minimum amount of offense we're seeing, we had no Hasumi in the life lead a second ago, but now, bam, here comes XIAOHAI.
Another thing to think about is that XIAOHAI's not getting any hits in, so he's not building any meter.
No.
Hasumi is almost at 3 bars.
Yeah. And again, even if he takes slow, no, again, he's going to work with the life lead, maybe get something out. Oh, no. Again, just like that. I'm surprised he didn't go a little bit harder on that one. But
I felt like he should have. That would have been a dead Kula, but this might be a dead Yen instead.
All right. But again, we see it there. Effectively, they took XIAOHAI's offense out of the match. Made him work that clock all the way down. Only 11 seconds, not getting a lot of life back. And again, like you said before, no meter to work with. All right, so again.
That's it. Just needs to finish this up. That's
the old school. And again, like just from sheer physical mechanics, that's always been a really impressive move to me.
Oh yeah.
Simply to go for like the one handstand into the split, like that's a trip. All right, but now again we got XIAOHAI's Benimaru coming out. Now the question is, like we just said, the last round, the Benimaru wasn't as effective as XIAOHAI is used to having. So can we see maybe a little bit of innovation, a little bit of improvisation from Hasumi's Kenso, maybe throw him off a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. If you can give that Maidson Kuda maybe a little bit more life versus Iori, we could see a different outcome from the last.
All right, good mid-air blowback. It's the jumping, goes to the max mode. Exactly we can. All right, not bad. Oh, goes to Karada.
Such a tricky mix-up there.
And again, that one bar, 22 hits. Not a great deal of damage done on it, but enough to take the life lead convincingly. And just like that, the old bread and butter. Okay. So we see here, but now Here it comes. Mason-kun. 5 bars. We know what type of approach game Hasumi's Mason-kun has. So now the question is, when is, quote unquote, the bow going to break here? Because all Mason-kun needs is a one simple opening up. One solid confirm, and that might be the match. Good defense there.
Out of it. Empty jump low is going to open him up. He's going to go for the 1 bar. It still does a ton of damage.
All right. Goes to the maximum. Tries to go for the no jump in. Almost gets.
Oh, wow. Completely dodges.
Damn.
Completely dodges the forward B with the neutral jump there. That was really impressive. And had the perfect answer for it on top of that.
Okay, now 36 seconds left. He's going to get a decent amount of life back. And this is going to put us where we wanted to see. Mason's going to have enough life, even on meter right now. So again, it really boils down to can Hasumi really just, again, get XIAOHAI to make 1 or 2 missteps and maybe take this round.
It's all about the use of these EX moves here for Hasumi. Definitely an interesting way he's going to confirm into it. All right, he's just going to go for the 1 bar. I like it, and that way he's going to get more raw max modes.
Yep. And again, just have to sit there and wait out that projectile, man. That is maddening to me.
I really appreciate that he's still going for regular fireballs in max mode, and it's making XIAOHAI really afraid because those EX fireballs are super fast.
All right, that's a decent trade back and forth with the mid-air blowbacks. It's open. Oh, there it is. Yep, that should do it. And again, but nonetheless, XIAOHAI walks away, the victor on this one. But really makes you wonder. We saw a couple of things here.
Yeah.
Could there be, a game plan for me? I hope people are paying attention. I hope people are taking notes.
I don't think anybody who's gonna go in the top 8 isn't watching this right now, honestly. If you have the ability to get into the top 8, I think you're watching XIAOHAI right now.